This is Catholic Challenge, Teen Edition, on the Living Bread Radio Network. Teens will test their knowledge of the Catholic faith. Join us on this journey as we navigate our way from BC to AD and everything in between. Today's defenders of the faith will take up their shield and sword to compete for prize money and a chance to move on to the next round of competition. Are you ready for the challenge? And now, here's your host, Michael Roberts.
Hello and welcome to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition here on the Living Bread Radio Network. Today we have two teams that will compete, testing their knowledge of the Catholic faith. Each team is playing for their favorite Catholic charity, and whoever wins today will earn $200 for that charity and the opportunity to advance to the next round. And so today we welcome two teams that are back. They've been very successful and they continue to play here in Catholic Challenge. We welcome Lydia Smith and Jackie Camus. They are playing for the American Life League. And we've got Maya Van Cunnet and Lauren Campbell. They are from St. Mary's in Massillon and they are playing for the St. Vincent DePaul Society of St. Mary's Parish. So teams, welcome back, I should say. Before we begin our game, as always though, let's hear the rules.
In round one, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 10 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, let's do it. American Life League, you will go first. Lydia Smith, you are the team captain. Let's play Catholic Challenge, and round one begins for you right now. Here's question number 1. The birth of the forerunner of Jesus Christ is foretold by the Archangel Gabriel. This forerunner was a cousin of Jesus. Who is he? Is it John of the Cross, Simon of Cyrene, or John the Baptist?
John the Baptist.
Yes, one of the most important prophets, and we celebrate the nativity of John the Baptist on June 24th. Here's question number 2. When Jesus was dying on the cross, he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Which psalm did he quote? Was it the first psalm? Was it Psalm number 12? Or was it Psalm 22?
Psalm 22.
And we sing that psalm each year on Palm Sunday. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Here's question number 3. St. Anthony of Padua was a follower of what other very famous saint? St. Francis of Assisi, St. Benedict, or St. Thomas Aquinas?
St. Francis of Assisi.
Easy to remember because they both wore brown robes. Yeah, absolutely. St. Francis of Assisi. All right, here's question number 4, and it's true or false. Exorcism prayers are included as part of the rite of baptism. Is that true or false? Need an answer.
True.
Absolutely true. Here's question number 5 for you, and it is, the first book in the Bible is called what? Baruch, Revelation, or Genesis?
Genesis.
The beginning, Genesis, absolutely. All right, that sound means you got all 5 of those right. We move on now to the bonus question. Here it is. What bird could poor people use for sacrifices if they could not afford lambs? Was it sparrows, geese, or pigeons?
Pigeons.
And there's plenty of pigeons to go around. Absolutely. All right. And that is a round 1 sweep for you, American Life League. You now have 75 unblemished points. We move over now to the St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's Parish in Massillon. Maya Van Cunnet, you are the team captain. Round 1 begins for you guys right now. Here we go. Question number 1. What are you reminding yourself of when you cross yourself with holy water when you enter the church? Are you reminded of your baptism, the flood, or tears of Christ?
Baptism.
We are absolutely reminded of our baptism when we bless ourselves with holy water. Here's question number 2. What did God do on the 7th day when he had completed the work of creation? Created the Holy Spirit, he rested, or he created the saints?
Rested.
And we are called to rest on the seventh day as well. All right. Question number 3. This saint is known as the mother of immigrants because she was an Italian immigrant to America. On July 7th, 1946, she was canonized a saint. Was it Mother Frances Cabrini, St. Catherine Labouré, or St. Teresa?
St. Catherine Labouré.
No, the correct answer there was Mother Frances Cabrini, and we celebrate her feast day on November 13th. She is the mother of immigrants. Here's question number 4. According to Matthew chapter 7, verse 17, what does a good tree bring forth? Pretty blossoms, good fruit, or colorful leaves?
Good fruit.
You got it. And here's question number 5 for you. The celebration of the Immaculate Conception refers to the birth of which person? John the Baptist, Jesus Christ, or Mary, the Mother of God?
Mary, the Mother of God.
Yeah, there's a great misconception in the church about that, but the Immaculate Conception celebrates the Immaculate Conception of Mary, the Mother of God. All right, at the end of round 1, St. Vincent DePaul Society, you have 40 points. Once again, American Life League, you have 75. It is time for our first break of the show. When we come back, we will reintroduce you to our contestants. Go nowhere. You're listening to Catholic Challenge right here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
Since 1919, the Ziegler family has served the community with trusted auto service and name brand products. 20 locations, 97 years, serving others. Ziegler Tire is a proud sponsor of Catholic Challenge. Find out more at ZieglerTire.com.
3,000 students, 40 states, 35 countries. Their journey for the right college has led them to Walsh University. Where will your journey lead you? Walsh University, a Catholic university of distinction. Online at walsh.edu.
And welcome back to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition here on the Living Bread Radio Network. I'm your host, Michael Roberts, and today our competitors are Lydia Smith and Jackie Camus. They are here playing for the American Life League. We also welcome Maya Van Cunnet and Lauren Campbell. They are from St. Mary's Parish in Massillon, and they are playing for the St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's in Massillon. Both teams have been here before, but we want to reintroduce you, our listeners, to our teams. We'll begin with American Life League. Lydia Smith, you are the team captain. Remind our listeners about yourself and your partner, Jackie.
We are both members of St. Francis Xavier Parish in Medina County. We're heavily involved in the youth group there. Jackie just graduated high school and is going on to Franciscan University for French and special education. And I am homeschooled going into my senior year, and I'm going to be taking College Credit Plus classes at Walsh University.
French and special education. What a combination that is. Best of luck to you at Franciscan. Absolutely. Remind our listeners about American Life League. That's the organization that you're playing for today.
So it is one of the largest pro-life organizations in the United States, and they do a lot of good with whatever funds they're given. And we feel very strongly about this cause because while it is very, very good to help the poor and give people jobs and education and things, if they're killed in the womb, you never have a chance to do that at all. So we figure if you go to the root and keep them from being killed, that's kind of the first step.
Very good. Well said. And it's nice that you guys have decided to play for the American Life League. So Lydia, Jackie, thanks again for joining us, and welcome back, I should say. All right, we move over now to Maya Van Cunnet and Lauren Campbell. They are playing for the St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's in Massillon. They're both wearing Canton Central Catholic shirts, so that kind of gives away where they go to school. But Maya, I'll let you take it away and tell us more.
Right now, we are currently 8th grade students at St. Mary's School in Massillon. We play sports such as volleyball and basketball. We both are a part of Student Council and Power the Pen, and we both are altar servers for our parish.
Very good. Are you excited to be going to Canton Central next year? I assume that's where you're going since you're wearing the shirts, right?
Yes, very excited.
You're excited to be big freshmen there next year? Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. So you're playing for the St. Vincent DePaul Society, and at the last program you were here, we talked a little bit about it. It's such a worthwhile organization, and I know there's a strong presence at St. Mary's in Massillon. Talk to our listeners about what St. Mary's does with the St. Vincent DePaul Society.
Well, for all the students at the school, we have a mass for each year, and all the students are to bring in canned food items then that we will take over to St. Vincent de Paul. And St. Vincent de Paul collects food for those who can't go to the grocery store like the average American.
It's a worthwhile cause. I'm glad you guys are playing for it. And of course, St. Mary's such a beautiful parish there in downtown Massillon. So once again, Maya and Lauren, thanks for joining us. All right, we're going to continue on now with our game into round number 2. Let's hear the rules, though, before we go any further.
In round 2, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 15 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There's no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, thank you for that. American Life League, you will go first in round number 2. Lydia Smith, the team captain, let's do it. Round number 2 starts right now. Here's question number 1. Through which of these sacraments do Catholics receive mercy and forgiveness? Holy Communion, matrimony, or reconciliation?
Reconciliation?
The sacrament of reconciliation, absolutely. Here's question number 2. Who was asked by God to build an ark? Adam and Eve, Ezekiel, or Noah?
Noah?
I think we learned that when we were really, really young. Maybe one of the first things we learned about our faith. Here's question number 3. What saint prayed for years for her husband and mother-in-law's conversion? She also had to pray many years for the conversion of her son, St. Augustine. Is she St. Mary Magdalene, St. Teresa of Avila, or St. Monica?
St. Monica?
You got it. Here's question number 4. Who is a person who speaks for God? A prophet, a patriarch, or a heretic?
A prophet.
Prophets such as Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, and of course John the Baptist were God's messengers who told people they were disobeying God and headed for self-destruction. All right, here's question number 5. Abraham referred to Lot as his brother, but how was Lot actually related to Abraham? A cousin, nephew, or grandson?
A nephew?
Absolutely right, nephew. All right, that sound means you got all 5 of those right. We move on now to the bonus question. Here it is. As recorded in the Acts of the Apostles, from which book of prophecy was the Ethiopian eunuch reading from? Isaiah, Ezekiel, or Daniel?
Isaiah?
Absolutely right, and that is a round 2 sweep. 175 points, American Life League. That is your score. We move over now to the St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's Parish in Massillon. Maya Van Connet, here we go. Round number 2 for you starts right now. Question number 1. What was the name of Abraham's first wife? Hagar, Sarah, or Miriam?
Sarah.
You got it. Here's question number 2. According to Matthew chapter 5, theirs is the kingdom of heaven. But who are they? Is it the poor in spirit, the poor and lonely, or poor in money?
Poor in spirit.
Absolutely right. Question number 3. Who was St. Peter's brother? He was a martyr and died by a crucifixion on an X-shaped cross. Was it St. Simon, St. Barnabas, or St. Andrew?
St. Andrew?
Yeah, and one of the easy ways to tell that it's St. Andrew when you see pictures and statues of him is he's usually holding an X-shaped cross in front of him. Here's question number 4. According to Acts chapter 1, verse 3, for how many days did Jesus appear to his disciples after his resurrection? 3, 40, or 70?
40.
There's that number 40 again, absolutely. And here's question number 5. When Jesus appeared to his disciples after the resurrection by the Sea of Tiberias, they had a breakfast of bread and what else? Wine, cheese, or fish?
Fish.
Absolutely right. All right, you got all 5 of those right. Let's move on now to the bonus question. Here it is. The writers of the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, are called what? Evangelists, Pharisees, or revolutionaries?
Evangelists.
Absolutely, they are the 4 evangelists, and that is a round 2 sweep. Congratulations, St. Vincent DePaul Society. You now have 140 points. Once again, American Life League, you have 175 points. Still very much anyone's game. Well, we're almost ready to move into round number 3, but before we do, we always like to pause and take a moment to thank our generous sponsors. These sponsors have provided all the prize monies for our program. We want to give special thanks to Ziegler Tire, St. Raphael Bookstore, and Walsh University. We are so thankful to have these great organizations continue to partner with all of us to help all of you learn more about the Catholic faith. So thank you, as always, to our sponsors. All right, now on to round number 3. Let's hear those rules.
In round 3, each team will answer 5 questions. Correct answers are worth 20 points each. Questions are either true, false, or multiple choice. The contestants may confer, but the team captain must answer the question. There is no penalty for incorrect answers. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, the team will be given a chance to answer a bonus question worth 25 points.
All right, American Life League, you will lead us off. Lydia Smith, team captain, round 3 starts right now. Here's question number 1. True or false? The leader of each diocese around the world is called a bishop. True or false?
True.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Question number 2. The Israelites were afraid of the people of the Promised Land and did not want to go forward to enter it because the people were what? Cannibals, giants, or dwarfs?
Giants.
Yeah, Numbers 13 tells the story of the men who went ahead to check out the Promised Land. They indeed found a land flowing with milk and honey, but also very huge people. They said, in our own eyes, we seemed like mere grasshoppers, and so we must have seemed to them. Here's question number 3. Which Christian doctrine did the Sadducees reject? Baptism, priesthood, or the resurrection?
The resurrection?
Correct. Here's question number 4. He was the author of a gospel and the Acts of the Apostles. He was a physician as well. Was it St. Luke, St. Thomas, or St. Paul?
St. Luke.
Luke the evangelist, absolutely. Question number 5, here it is. In the parable of the leaven, what is leaven more commonly known as? Flour, water, or yeast?
Yeast.
And of course, we receive unleavened bread in the form of the body of Christ when we go to communion. All right, you got all 5 of those right. We move on now to the bonus question. Here it is. How many times did Jesus say you should forgive your brother when he sins against you? 7 times, 100 times, or 70 times?
70 times?
Yeah, it varies based on the translation, depending on what you're reading and what book you're reading. But yeah, you get the idea, 70 times. All right, that is a round 3 sweep. Congratulations, American Life League. You now have 300 points. We've got a great game going here. We move over now to the St. Vincent DePaul Society of St. Mary's Parish in Massillon. Maya Van Cunnet, here we go. Round number 3 starts right now. Question number 1, and it's true or false. A meek person is called a Gentile. True or false?
True.
Actually, it's false. A Gentile is a non-Jew. That's what that means. All right. Question number 2. Who is the patron saint of England, Boy Scouts, and soldiers for his role as a knight? St. George, St. Polycarp, or St. Mark?
St. George.
Yeah, a lot of times you see him riding on a horse as well, St. George. Here's question number 3. Which disciple looked after Jesus' mother Mary after the death of Jesus? Was it Nicodemus, John or Mary Magdalene?
John.
The disciple whom Jesus loved, it was John. Here's question number 4. For what amount did Judas betray Jesus? 30 pounds of gold, 30 pieces of silver, or 300 gold coins?
30 pieces of silver.
Absolutely right. And here's question number 5 for you. According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 1324, the source and summit of Christian life is what? Baptism, union with God, or the Eucharist?
The Eucharist.
It is absolutely the source and summit of our Christian life. All right. St. Vincent DePaul Society, at the end of round number 3, you have 220 points. Once again, American Life League is in the lead with 300 points. We're going to take another quick timeout, but before we do, we always like to give a question for you, our listening audience. And here it is. Believing in superstitions like horoscopes, tarot cards, and clairvoyance goes against which commandment? We'll give you the answer coming up. Go nowhere. You are listening to Catholic Challenge right here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
For over 25 years, St. Raphael Bookstore has been your source for all things Catholic. We offer resources to help you learn and defend the faith. St. Raphael Bookstore, a sponsor of Catholic Challenge, online at catholicbook.net.
And welcome back to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition right here on the Living Bread Radio Network. So before the break, we left you, our listening audience, with a question. And that question was, believing in superstitions like horoscopes, tarot cards, and clairvoyance goes against which commandment? The commandment is, of course, the first commandment. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have any strange gods before me. All right, we've got a great game going here. American Life League is in the lead with 300 points. The St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's Parish in Massillon is trailing with 220 points. Still very much anyone's game, and we now move into the challenge round, which is slightly different. So let's hear the rules.
This final round combines knowledge and speed. The first team to ring in may answer the question. Correct answers are worth 30 points each. And in case of a tie at the end of this round, we will have a tiebreaker question. The team with the most points at the end of this round will be awarded $200 for their organization and will move on to the next round of competition. And the losing team will be awarded $50 for their organization.
All right, let's do it. Contestants, hands on your buzzers, please. The challenge round starts right now. Question number 1. Who bargained with God to save Sodom? Need an answer. The correct answer there was Abraham. Abraham bargained with God to save Sodom. Here's question number 2. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 4 states that the Ark of the Covenant contained the golden pot that had manna and Aaron's rod that budded. And what else? St. Vincent de Paul Society.
The Ten Commandments.
Absolutely right. Here's question number 3. How old was Jesus when he started his public ministry? American Life League.
30.
Absolutely. Here's question number 4. In Luke chapter 15, we find the quote by a father of a young man. My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. What parable is this found in? American Life League.
The prodigal son.
My favorite parable, the prodigal son. Absolutely. Here's question number 5. Which saint was also known as the beloved apostle? American Life League.
St. John.
St. John the Evangelist. Absolutely. American Life League, you are in the lead with 390 points. The St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's, you have 250 points. All right, here we go. What devotion was revealed to St. Margaret Mary Alacoque? What devotion? The devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus was revealed to St. Margaret Mary. Here's question number 9. What set of rosary meditations was introduced by St. Pope John Paul II? American Life League.
The Luminous Mysteries.
Yeah, the Mysteries of Light, the Luminous Mysteries, they were introduced by Pope John Paul II in October of 2002. Here's question number 10. How often are Catholics obliged to go to confession? St. Vincent de Paul Society.
Twice a year.
No, American Life League, I'll reread the question, give you the opportunity to answer. How often are Catholics obligated to go to confession?
Do I have to buzz?
No, go ahead.
Once a year?
Yes, at least once per year, Catholics are obligated to go to confession. American Life League, you're in the lead with 450 points. St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's, you have 250 points. Here's question number 11. What prayer has the Latin title Pater Noster? American Life League.
The Our Father.
Absolutely. Question number 12. This term is most often used to describe when a person becomes morally responsible. At the age of 7, a person has reached what? American Life League.
The Age of Reason.
Absolutely. Question number 13. Which of the commandments requires that we honor our mother and father? St. Vincent de Paul Society.
The fourth commandment.
You got it. Here's question number 14. What are used to make the ashes for Ash Wednesday? American Life League.
The palms from Palm Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Palms from the preceding Palm Sunday. And finally, here's question number 15. In what month of Elizabeth's pregnancy did the angel appear to Mary? American Life League.
The 5th?
No, that's not right. I'll reread the question. St. Vincent de Paul Society, you'll have the opportunity to answer. In what month of Elizabeth's pregnancy did the angel appear to Mary?
The 4th.
No, it was the other way, the 6th month. The 6th month of her pregnancy. All right, that is the game. American Life League, you have 540 points. The St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's in Massillon, you have 280 points. So congratulations to Lydia Smith and Jackie Camus. You have moved on to the next round, and you've won $200 additional for American Life League. Thank you also to Maya Van Cunnet and Lauren Campbell from the St. Vincent de Paul Society of St. Mary's in Massillon. A donation of $50 will be given to that organization on your behalf. Special thanks also to our sponsors, Ziegler Tire, St. Raphael Bookstore, and Walsh University, whose generous support provides our prize money. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter as well. I'm Michael Roberts, and until next time, do your part and defend the faith. We'll see you next week for another edition of Catholic Challenge, right here on the Living Bread Radio Network.
You've been listening to Catholic Challenge Teen Edition, a production of the Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio. If you'd like to be a part of the program, email quiz@livingbreadradio.com. For a podcast of this show, go to livingbreadradio.com and join us next time for another edition of Catholic Challenge Teen Edition.